What's up and welcome back to the Sixers Breakroom. Let's break down game one. Sixers versus Heat in the second round matchup. The Miami Heat won game one at home, and the Sixers struggled mightily shooting the ball, and the Sixers struggled a ton rebounding the ball. Shooting and rebounding were a huge issue for this team, and a lot of people think that this series is over. Most folks thought it was over before it even started. All 19 people at ESPN that were polled to see who would win this series, 19 out of 19 said the Miami Heat were going to win this series. Joel Embiid is hurt. That's a huge loss for the Sixers. We already see that in game one. But are the Sixers done for? Is this it? Is this it? Let's take a look. But first, before we get started, I gotta give a shout out to my first member, Marik Pixa. Hope I said your name right. If you guys want to shout out in the video, make sure you guys become a member by clicking that link in the description below. I think they could have realistically won this game if they just shot the ball better. And here's a prime example. Let's take a look at this possession here with Tyrese Maxey. The Miami Heat are dropping into a 2-3 zone, which they did quite a bit in this game. The Sixers did it as well, pretty effectively. And you're going to see you get this high screen on the top defender, and you're going to see Tyrese Maxey actually walks right into a wide open three-point shot here. You're going to see Tobias Harris here at the top is going to dive into the middle of this defense, and it's going to draw Victor Oladipo with him, and Tyrese Maxey is going to have a wide open three at the top of the key, and he just doesn't convert on it. But this is a great example of the Sixers getting open shots all night and them just not falling. This next clip here, it's not a great camera angle, but you're going to see you have Danny Green setting this flare screen on Vincent, and you're going to have Tyrese Maxey popping out towards the opposite wing. And you'll see Tyrese Maxey does get a wide open shot here. I mean, that's an open three for Tyrese Maxey, and once again, it just doesn't fall. Here's another clip here, right? Again, Tyrese Maxey, he's going to get a chance. We're in transition here. Tyrese Maxey dribbles right into a three, a little bit deep, right? But we know Tyrese Maxey's accustomed to hitting these shots, and he has about 5 feet of space here to hit this shot, and he just doesn't, right? Again, the shots just weren't falling for Tyrese Maxey last night. I love this camera angle, and I wish that we got more of it. But here, you're going to have Paul Reed set a ball screen and then roll to the basket, and then you'll see a second ball screen from Danny Green on Victor Oladipo, and he's actually going to pick and then pop to the corner. So when Maxey comes off of this screen, you'll see that he has the switch, and then Victor Oladipo is going to help on a drive by Tyrese Maxey. So there you have the switch, and then you have Maxey takes one step as if he's going to go downhill. He draws the second defender, and you have a wide open three from Danny Green that once again just didn't fall. Tobias Harris, who had a great game last night, you're going to see Tobias Harris here. He drives into the lane, draws all this attention. Take a look at the attention. You get 1, 2, 3, and even Bam Adebayo, 4, all drawn to Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris does his job. I draw when I kick. Niang sees that he has the one more to Danny Green in the corner. That's not a wide open three, but that's a three Danny Green is more than capable of hitting off the mark. George Niang is another guy who's expected to hit threes off the bench for the Sixers, right? Here on this possession, you're going to see James Harden does a great job of getting into the middle of the lane. He draws a second defender, right? You have Niang's guy dropping in to help here. And then you have wide open shot to the corner. And this is a shot you expect Niang to hit more times than not, wide open. And he's off the mark. On this possession here, you have the Sixers running a horn set, right? So you have DJ setting the screen. You got Niang setting the screen. And Harden is choosing where he wants to go with it. Harden decides to come off left. DeAndre Jordan's going to dive down. Then you're going to have Niang reset the screen for James Harden to drive back right. After that second screen, that rescreen by Niang, you're going to see that he floats out to the wing in the open space. And you'll see PJ Tucker, right? PJ Tucker decides to come back to the ball, right? He doesn't want to switch. He wants Hero to go back, but the switch is late. And you have a wide open three from Niang. That's off the mark. Let's take a look at this play here. And this just goes to show you, it wasn't just one guy, it was everyone. As a team, we shot 6 for 34 from 3. But you're going to see you'll get this DJ screen for Tyrese Maxey. And then he's actually going to rescreen it on the right-hand side. Now, this screen and roll, Tyrese Maxey is going to come off of this. He's going to draw that help from PJ Tucker, and he's going to hit an open James Harden on the wing. which once again, you take a look at this shot here. I draw the help, I kick it. That's an open shot for James Harden. Doesn't fall. So you can see throughout the course of this game, I mean, there were so many opportunities for the Sixers to score points, so many open threes, and they just weren't hitting any shots, right? That's not me being a homer. That's just me looking at the film and seeing that the Sixers actually got a lot of opportunities. And that's a key. That's very important because we all know how great the Miami Heat defense is. And yet the Sixers were able to generate wide open looks without Joel Embiid. They just didn't convert. Another thing that, to start the game was a little promising was James Harden actually came out and was fairly aggressive and was having some success. Here you have this possession early on in the game. It's still first quarter. You got a simple ball screen from Matisse Thybulle to get this switch for Tyler Hero. And then you have prime James Harden, little step back three, bang, right? We had glimpses last night of James Harden being the James Harden of old. Here's another example, right? You're going to have this double ball screen. So you got Danny Green setting the screen, Paul Reed setting the screen. Paul Reed's going to dive. Danny Green's going to float back out. And you'll see James Harden here, aggressive, right? Attacks Tyler Hero off the bounce, gets contact. They don't call the foul, gets his own rebound, and is fouled on the second attempt. But you see James Harden being aggressive, trying to get to the cup, taking his shot, right? This was all something that we've been dying to see from James Harden for quite some time now as a Sixers fan. Here you're going to have another one of these double ball screens just from a different set here. So you had the Danny Green, Paul Reed screen on the wing, and now you have this high ball screen from Danny Green. James Harden's going to come off of it, and then Paul Reed is setting a second ball screen, and that puts a lot of pressure on the defense to be in the proper help location. You get that first screen there. Tyler Hero switches off of him, and then you have Paul Reed screening Tyler Hero. So he's not looking to screen Martin, who was originally guarding Harden. He's setting the screen on the helper. And now look how far off PJ Tucker is, right? PJ Tucker typically would have been much higher, but because you're setting that double screen so high up, PJ Tucker is late in help, and you'll see James Harden dribbles right into an open three. This here was one of my favorite possessions of the night. You have a Paul Reed block, right? And defense turns into offense. Danny Green's going to give it up to James Harden. And right here, James Harden, full head of steam. We haven't seen James Harden playing this aggressive in a while. Couple dribbles, gets all the way to the basket. I mean, he was playing so well early in the game. And then you look up and he only takes four shots in the second half. So we couldn't hit any threes. We had so many open looks. It wasn't just tough looks, right? We had so many open looks from three that we couldn't convert on. Then we had James Harden getting very passive in the second half, and we only scored 92 points. And then on the defensive end, you had the issue of rebounding the ball. We did not rebound the ball well. DeAndre Jordan has been the center of attention all over Twitter last night because of his play. He did not play well. He's 7 feet. He's expected to get rebounds. He's expected to protect the rim, and he didn't really do either of those things. The biggest issue was, rebounding the ball. First of all, he doesn't get in front there. He lets James Harden get a straight line drive, contest late. But here you have three bodies, three guys, 1, 2, 3, and somehow the Miami Heat get the offensive rebound. Here's another example, right? You're going to have Bam Adebayo take a tough fadeaway. You got two bodies, James Harden and Tobias Harris here on PJ Tucker, and yet who comes up with the rebound? PJ Tucker. On this possession here, the Sixers are in a 2-3 zone. And one thing about a 2-3 zone, for fans out there who may not know, one of the issues with the 2-3 zone is it's very hard to rebound in a 2-3 zone because you're not attached to a player. You have to find a body. A lot of times what ends up happening is shot goes up and guys are just looking for the ball. So you're going to keep an eye here on Bam Adebayo, because Bam Adebayo does a great job of sitting behind the defense, which you want to do in a zone. And take a look, because he's in that dead spot near the baseline for the entire possession, he now has inside position on Paul Reed right there, right? So it's tough. It's tough rebounding when you're in a 2-3 zone. It's not an excuse, but it's just a reality. And you see here, Bam Adebayo gets inside, tips it out. Heat come up with the loose ball. Here's another example of that same thing, right? So we're in a 2-3 zone. and you can see Jimmy Butler penetrates the zone, which if you can drive and get into the middle against the zone, the defense is in trouble. And you'll see here, Bam Adebayo was in the dead spot here. He already has that inside position. He's already sealing James Harden so that if Jimmy Butler does miss this, he's able to get the rebound. And that's exactly what happens. You get the putback. Even though he misses, it's a second shot opportunity. But make no mistake about it, it was not just in zone where the Sixers were having these issues. Here's a possession in man-to-man. Take a look at when the shot goes up. I'm going to pause it when the shot goes up right here, right? Shot goes up. Take a look where all the players on the floor are. Look at the Sixers. Inside position, middle of the paint, inside position on Hero. You got Maxey who's coming in towards the paint. Taking a look at this freeze frame, you would think there's no way the Sixers didn't get this rebound, right? Wrong. Take a look at this. You got four guys who have inside position, and then you just let Tyler Hero because nobody's boxing out, right? It's one thing to be in front of a guy. It's another thing to get a body on him and box out. Nobody boxes out. You get this Tobias Harris little tip, and then you have a guy coming up with a rebound that he should have never had, right? This is going to be the last one, and it's probably going to be the last one just because I can't take looking at it anymore. But here you have another deep three. Furkan is actually inside on PJ Tucker. But instead of getting his body into him and boxing him out, he's just standing in front of him with his hands on his chest. He's not using his trunk at all. This is not how you box out. You get your trunk on a guy, you get wide, and you drive him out. Instead, he's just standing in front of him. And then you got Tobias Harris, who was just looking instead of either A, boxing out PJ Tucker as well, or B, boxing out what's his name? Strus, 31. He's just standing there, and somehow PJ Tucker comes up with this offensive rebound and 2 points. We gave up 15 offensive rebounds, which leads to second chance opportunities and second chance points. In every aspect of this game, the Sixers got outplayed. And despite it all, you only give up 106 points. And I say only because in today's NBA, 106 points is not a lot. In the second game, we saw the Suns put up 121 and the Mavs put up 114. If you give up 106 points in the NBA, you think that you're in a pretty good position to win that game. I don't want to give up 106 every game, but you can still win that game. You lose by 14 in a game where you go 6 for 34 from three. You lose the rebounding battle. You lose the turnover battle, right? This was still very much a game until that third quarter. The Heat outscore the Sixers 30-21. They start to pull away in that third quarter, and then they started the fourth quarter hot, and then boom, it's no longer a game. But when you consider that we started the game down 25-11, when you consider there's no Joel Embiid, when you consider how poorly we shot the ball, and then you look up and you're up at halftime, you feel pretty good about yourself. And if we would have just shot our season average at 36% would have put us at 12 for 34. That's 6 extra threes. That's 18 extra points, and we lose by 14. I know it doesn't work that way. I'm not just saying you automatically just add 18 points. I'm not even saying if we shot the ball better, we win last night. But I think that game was a lot closer than the score says. I think if the Sixers find a way to hit some open threes going into game 2, they're going to be in a position to win that game. And if you steal one on the road and then you get Joel Embiid back for game 3 at home, you feel great. I'm shocked that 19 out of 19 people said the Sixers are going to lose this series. And after game 1, I'm actually feeling optimistic, even though I know many fans and analysts believe the sky is falling. I do not. What do you guys think? Sound off in the comment section below. If you are a Sixers fan, how do you feel after game 1? On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that we can win game 2? Let me know in the comment section below. If you liked the video, don't forget to like the video. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on that bell so you know when I'm dropping new content. This is the Sixers Break Room, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.